Alright guys, today I'm going to give you a review on my MTL brush cutter attachment. I have put 55 hours on it so far, and I'm actually been real happy with it. I had a couple things that came up, like a couple issues. And one is I had one bolt become loose on me, and I tightened it up, and then it came loose again, and I tightened it up again, but I didn't realize that the bushing, which I'll show you in this video what I'm talking about, got mushroomed up when that came loose that time. So when I tightened it up, it didn't go back into its little home, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And so it kind of got messed up, so I bought a new bolt. I'm going to replace that on this video. But one thing I've been having an issue with is these hoses. It's nothing to do with the attachment. This is just the way it sits up. Like when I hook it to my machine, you can see this hose right here rubbed off the sheeting, the protective coating. Anyway, but part of that was because it was sitting right here rubbing on this metal, and this metal is broke obviously, but I'm saying a tree landed on it and broke it. And then once that happened, then these hoses, because they would rest right here. Anyway, so once that happened, it would sit there and rub on it. But I didn't know it until it was hard like this, and I was like, holy cow. So, you know, nothing real major though, just the way these hoses were routed, they rested right there, which was fine for a while. But then, like I said, once that tree hit it, then it rubbed it wrong. But I'm gonna fix that. And so, other than that though, nothing real major. These things, you know, in the original pictures you had an M here, so this metal was all cut out like an MTL. But the little pieces they cut out, they were just little pieces of metal staying there, kind of like stencil. Anyway, they broke off. And I didn't know it until I looked at it one day. I was like, wow, where'd all those go? But anyway, no big deal. You know, that's just a cover. And so, but just little things like that happen. But, you know, as far as the brush cutter and its abilities, no problem. I just had that one bolt that was loose. So, yeah. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about with this bolt and get into that. All right, so now I got the brush cutter up so I can get in here to work on it, and it's sitting on the ground supporting itself. So this is the bolt right here that became loose, and what happened is I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Let me see if I can get my phone to give us some light on the subject. Maybe. Right there we go. Okay, so you can kind of see that what looks like a washer in there, and it's kind of mushroomed out. But anyway, what that really is let me show you on a new bolt. Okay, so right here, okay, so this is a new bolt, and that washer that you're seeing in there is actually this bushing right here. It's like mushroomed up on one end where it looks like it's a washer, but it's really supposed to go inside of those two. Go inside these two things here, one there, one, and it's, you know, holds that blade too. Anyway, then it's all tightened down. But since that's all mushroomed out, it won't go back in there, and so this bolt now just sits there and spins, and you can't tighten it up. I mean, we got it as tight as we could. The other day, a guy was helping me do it. But anyway, so now I'm just gonna cut it off and put a new bolt in there. All right, be right back in a minute. All right, finally got it cut off. That only took a while. I don't even know how long it took. I didn't even start timing it. But there's the head of it. Let me grab it. Oh! So here's the head of the bolt. I really wish it was like a hex style. We can put a wrench on it. Anyway, that's some good old steel right there, guys. Hard and steel. Anyway, got that off. Thing's still hot. Now I'm just gonna get this out. Alright, let me work on that. Alright guys, so I finally got this bolt out. Just show you in there. This part looks good. So I think a new bolt will go right in there and not have any problems. I did have to cut the thing in half twice, talking about the bolt. So let me show you. Got it out. Alright, so here we go. Here's the old one. Now remember, I cut the head of it off, so it's off. I just set it on there so you can kind of compare. And there's the nut I cut off today. And that's the bushing. Look how much of that bushing's gone. I can't believe that. This is what they're supposed to look like. Brand new, you know. So this is the bolt, how it looks. Oopsie. I never did show it on video, but one day when I was out at the job site, I got barbed wire in my brush cutter. I think I mentioned it on the actual job, but it was after fact. So I went to get that barbed wire out, and that's when I noticed this bolt was loose. But what I was gonna say is, you know, you can kind of see how the threads were like totally gone right there. So I think that was already happening when I noticed the bolt was loose, and then I tightened it up. But I couldn't get it tight, and you can see how tight I could get it. That's as far as I could get it, and it's supposed to be, the nut's supposed to be flush with that top of that stud from that bolt. And so anyway, that's as high as I could get it. But anyway, so with it being like that, you know, it was a little loose still. And so with it being a little loose, you know, it really wore that bushing out, which is amazing. But, and the blade has a little bit elongated right there where that bolt was wearing on it. Got in there and wore on it. But I'm going to put it back together with this new bolt and order a whole new set of blades. When you order a whole new set of blades, it comes with the bolt and bushing and nut. So that way that'll be good. But just going forward, I'll know to check these things after every job, because most jobs I do are like 8 to 10 hours. So when I get done doing that job, I'll just check these nuts and bolts, make sure they're tight. Probably just run a drive impact wrench on them, just make sure they're still tight, and do that every 10 hours. That way I won't get loose on you and have this problem. So that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, now it's time to put it back together. Well, that ain't good. Still spinning. Actually, it's tight in there. Sweet. It's working. Get a cheetah bar on this thing. Oh yeah, we got threads now. really need my thing not to move. Yeah. That's got to be tight. All right, we got this back on. I just went around and tightened them all up, make sure they're all tight. All right, well now we're gonna check this thing out. All right, guys. So this coupler right here that you saw me just change out. Here's the old one right here. For whatever reason, this thing would not clip on there. It would go on. As you push it on, it would go on and everything, but it just would not pop out and hang on to it. You know, clip itself on there and hang on. So I'm thinking that something broke in this thing, like a spring or something. And like I said, I did have a tree fall on this thing one time on the side, and it may have hit this top coupler, breaking a spring in there, and it was able to stay on there. But I think once I disconnected it, it would never allow it to go back on, is what I'm thinking. That's a theory. Could be right, could be wrong. But anyway, so I bought a new one of these today, and now it goes on there. So real happy about that. All right, let's see if this thing works. Alright, cool, no leaks. So, alright, well that's back up and running, I think. Now I just gotta address this little problem right here. Right here. So that right there don't eat up my hose. Anyway, I just gotta address that right there and I think we'll be alright. Alright, let me do that. Alright, so I think I fixed everything on this thing. I ended up just pounding that back over so it wouldn't have a sharp edge right there. And then I'm going to take a tie strap and tie these two together like that. And that won't be an issue no more. So anyway, real happy with this thing still. Like I said, I had 55 hours on it, and it's pretty good. I didn't know you had to watch those nuts from coming loose, but you know, sometimes you learn by trial and error. But anyway, every time I do a job, pretty much I'll check them, make sure they're still tight. But anyway, that's it. Till the next one.